Okay, this is New Star Radio 98.7 FM in Birmingham and Smooth Fuego TV, and I'm here with
Tamar Braxton.
Now, Tamar, this, as you said earlier, this isn't your first time in the UK, right?
No.
How are you?
This is the first time that I'm here for me.
Okay. What's it? So you've come before to support
I've come
people?
before. I've come as a background singer for my sister Tony, and came with Gaga a few times and hung out and things like that.
Okay. Now you mentioned your sister Tony. Yeah. Now you've got a completely musical family. There's a whole of you're the baby of the group. Yeah. How did you find that growing up?
It was cool. I mean, I've always been surrounded by my sisters, and they're my very best friends. It's a lot of fun, and sometimes it can be very challenging.
Now, you started off as the Braxtons, as a family, and then Tony branched out, and you also supported her as well. Yes. Was there kind of, not exactly a feeling of resentment, but kind of like, I want my spotlight as well, or was it just all love?
Well, no, not at all. Tony and I are like 11 years apart. It's kind of weird, of us being in the same group together. Yeah. So it was only right for her to, be a solo artist. But, we since then formed the Braxtons. Yeah. And then the Braxton Show, now Tamar, Vince, and now Love and War.
Definitely.
So I'm good.
Now, when you started off as a solo artist, you had your other albums such as Tamar and Ridiculous, which didn't actually come out. I've been doing my little research there. And you went through a lot of trial and tribulations. Yeah. And did it help develop you as a person and as an artist to battle through that?
Definitely. I've been in several, record deal situations, and it was a lot of issues because people wanted me to be who Tony is, and that's not my personality at all. And I've been trying to tell people that and explain it to them, and they never really got it until they saw my personality actually on a TV screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a lot of followers who've been following the Braxton Show and following you as an artist, because I don't think it was actually shown here in the UK.
Yeah, which is crazy. Which is definitely, listen to me, it's going to change.
Definitely.
Definitely.
It needs to change. But let me give an example of your impact as an artist. Say, as I'm driving from radio, I'm seeing another person in the car. I don't know how to explain it in a way you'll understand. You know the actor Terry Crews? Or like
Terry Crews, the actor.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
I heard him listening, and he was like, it seemed to be going in. I was thinking, I must be listening to some hardcore hip hop. And then it was a hot day in summer, putting down my windows, and then I can hear him singing to Love and War.
Hilarious.
Now, have you found that you've touched people that you never thought you would, that listen to your music?
Yeah, it's so crazy to me. People have come up to me and like, oh my God, Tamar, thank you so much for singing about this particular subject, because you saved my marriage, or you saved my relationship, and it just really makes me feel amazing, because it wasn't purposely done. You know what I mean? When you do things for an initial intent, I think that the result is different. But when you do things just because it's something that's in your heart and it's something that you have to kind of get off your chest because it was something that I went through personally in my relationship, it's such a much more rewarding feeling.
Okay, now speaking of the here and now, you had your single, The One.
Yes.
Would you like to explain the story behind that single?
Yeah. Well, the track was brought to us, and, I thought it was very interesting because a lot of people don't know. They're like, oh, that's the Biggie track. Well, it's actually in Tume, and Biggie sampled it. Yeah. But Biggie did make it his own, respectfully. So, that's why I thought it was important to still include him in the record. And I just thought it would be, just a little interesting to write a love song on top of like a Biggie Smalls kind of Entombed throwback kind of beat.
Okay. Yeah. And now I noticed in the video as well, you were pregnant at the time. Yeah. You've had your baby now. How are you finding balancing the career and motherhood now?
Well, I love it. Logan is an amazing baby. And I get to work with my family. I get to perform on stage. And then I get to go home to my lovely baby.
Okay. Yeah. Are you finding he's picking up some characteristics of yourself?
No, he's nothing like me. He's everything like Vince. Okay. He's not dramatic at all. He's so laid back and cool, and he sleeps all night. He's nothing like his mother. Thank God.
Why would you say right?
Well, because I can be a bit dramatic sometimes, I own up to that, but that's all I'm admitting to.
Okay. And now I've mentioned briefly your impact before. I'm going to tell you some of the reactions which I've had from my various Twitter followers and listeners to my radio show. Okay. You have been rated as probably the best singer that is out at the moment.
Wow.
Of over any other singer. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel amazing. I always wanted to be a singer, but I always wanted to be respected as well.
Yeah.
And if I felt like I couldn't sing, I wouldn't be a singer. This is not like an extension of having a successful television show. This is just me being a real singer and a real artist. So to have that kind of respect is amazing.
So you feel you're getting that respect for just the singing now, not just
singing,
from...
not for any other reason.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And as I said before, with the internet, social media, everything, as soon as you put something up, it's worldwide like that.
Yeah.
Like I talked about the Braxton show. People are actually ahead because as you had the one, people are talking about All the Way Home as well.
Yeah.
So would you like to explain that single as well?
All the Way Home is actually sung from Vincent's perspective,
Okay.
because I'm the kind of girl who likes to argue the situation through, and Vince is the kind of guy who likes to walk away from the situation and then come back to it, which most guys.
That's definitely me.
So I'm singing like I'm him, like I'm thinking that once he gets in the car and he's upset about something, and most of the time, you guys, when you leave, it's not that serious, and so you're thinking about the situation, you're thinking about your relationship, and the whole time in the car, you just want to just reflect on how much your relationship means to you, and it's time to go home. Let's just stop playing games.
Okay. And I love the single as well.
Yes,
it's actually entered our Smooth Fuego Top 10 chart at number 2.
Wow.
I think so.
Jeez. Wow.
You're doing very well.
Thank you.
Now,
Wow.
now you're in the UK, I want to ask you about some UK culture. Have you had the chance to listen to any UK artists?
Yes, I have.
Okay, who are you feeling at the moment?
I like Diggy. This is his name, Diggy.
Diggy.
No, the rapper dude. I met him at the what's the pop award?
Dizzy Rascal.
Dizzy Rascal, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like him.
Okay.
I've always liked him, actually, a couple years. I like Jessie. She's
Jessie
great.
J, yeah.
Who else do I like? That's all I know, I think.
Okay.
Who else is there that's great that I need to look up on?
Loads of
See,
artists.
that's what I
People
mean.
from
I love it.
Tiny Temper to...
I know who that is.
Okay. And I'm also from the second city
Okay.
of the UK, Birmingham. It's just in the middle of England.
Okay.
And we've got an artist called Lady Leisha as well, who's like an up-and-coming female rapper as well.
Oh,
So
really?
look out for her.
Oh, I will.
We've got a very strong scene, and we have a kind of different type of flavour.
Yeah.
So, would you be interested in working with some UK artists?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Any reason to come back? Are you kidding me? And to have some dope material? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So should we expect a Tamar Braxton tour in the future?
Definitely.
In the UK?
Well, I am touring now with John Legend in the
Okay.
States. We start in 2 weeks. But after that, I'll be back.
Okay, definitely. Now, how is it? What's it like to tour with John Legend? What's
We
it
haven't
like?
started yet. We start up in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I actually open for him tomorrow at the iTunes Festival. And this is like my first time being on stage alone. So
okay.
it's very interesting.
So are you nervous about the iTunes?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I'm more excited than I am nervous. The only thing that I'm kind of nervous about is that, I know that my music is very new here, and a lot of people, don't have the show, so they don't know who I am. So that's the only thing that I'm nervous about. Like, people just staring at me like, who is this girl singing her face off like that?
You know what, to be fair, that could actually work to your advantage, because the range and how powerful your voice is, it's better for them to not know you. Because then it will catch them by surprise. Because they may be, who's this girl? Then when you perform, it's like, wow.
Really? So do a bunch of new acts come and perform on
Yeah,
that?
all the time.
Really? I
Yeah.
never knew that.
Yeah, they've got the established acts, but then they also have quite a few.
Oh, that's great.
new acts
Oh,
as
that's
well.
great to know. Great.
Okay. So what can we expect from Tamar Braxton in the future?
Well, there's a lot of things going on in my world. we're shooting Braxton Family 4, and we just wrapped Tamar and Vince 2, and I have a book that's coming out. It's called Love and War, but it has nothing to do with the album.
Okay.
It's called Love and War because it's a relationship self-help book, and I tell my story, and Vince tells his story, and we tell our story together. And I have a Christmas album that's coming out. And what else? Oh, I have a talk show. It's called The Real.
Wow.
And
a lot of things.
yes, I have a lot of things going
Wow.
on. So it's a lot going on in my world.
How do you find balancing all of these different things together?
Well, I thought about it one day, and I was just like, how you find time to do things that you really want to do? I really love working with my sisters on the Braxtons. I love working with Vince. I love my baby. I love my album. And so I make time for it all. to work.
Okay, now I know you're very busy and you got to prepare for your iTunes performance. I'm going to ask you one last question.
Yes.
As you are a community station in Birmingham, you have a lot of up-and-coming singers, songwriters, rappers, producers. Do you have any words of advice that you could give them based on your own experience?
I do, you know, not personally, but things I've seen. I know that Gaga got discovered through MySpace. And, you know, I would just say put on your best face, sing your best song, and put it on YouTube and spam the hell out of everybody on Twitter. No, and I'm so serious, and it sounds crazy, but eventually people and record labels and producers and DJs, they do eventually look at them.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, with the Love and War single, I'm usually ahead of everybody. I get the latest music, but it was actually the listeners who came up with it first.
Yeah.
I was like, what? How come I don't have this? And then I had to search for it, and then I found it. And then you're right, it is powerful. It's a very powerful medium.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the interview. That has been Tamar Braxton, myself, Fuego, Smooth Fuego. Would you like to talk about your social networks, how people can keep updated with your Twitter, website, Facebook, everything, and also mention your single and the release date and introduce it as we'll play it next?
Well, my single off of my album, Love and War, is called The One. And I believe All the Way Home as well is coming very, very soon. But you can reach me directly at Twitter, Tamar Braxton Her, Instagram, Tamar Braxton Her, or you can look up my latest when I'm having shows and what I'm doing next on tamarbraxton.com.
Would you like to introduce your single as well?
Yes, and to all my Tamartian friends, this is The One.